shivers run down your spine as we lead you into the spine-chilling tale of the Black Hope Cemetery. A graveyard so steeped in mystery and eerie silence, it feels as though you're stepping into a world where the line dividing the living and the dead is as thin as a mere whisper. A place where the departed souls refuse to be silenced, their restless spirits haunting the very ground they were laid to rest on. Situated in the heart of Crosby, Texas, lies a seemingly ordinary neighborhood with as dark and heavy as the blackest night. An innocent-looking residential area, it holds secrets that are as frightening as they are intriguing. Secrets that the Haney family were blissfully unaware of when they moved into their dream home. A beautiful house that was, unfortunately, erected upon the forgotten graves of the Black Hope Cemetery. This cemetery was no ordinary burial ground. It was a sacred resting place, a solemn piece of history where former slaves were laid to rest. Their final destination, a silent testament to their hardships and struggles. But its sanctity was disrupted, the ground desecrated by the construction of the Haney family's new house, giving birth to a haunting so terrifying it would inspire the chilling film Grave Secrets: The Legacy of Hilltop Drive. As the Haneys settled into their new home, they began to experience events that they couldn't find any logical explanation for. Everyday objects disappeared, only to reappear in the most unlikely and unexplainable places. They saw ghostly apparitions dancing in the corners of their eyes, fleeting shadows that disappeared as soon as they tried to focus on them. Chills them in the dead of night, their sleep disrupted by an unseen presence that seemed determined to make itself known. An unseen presence that was both unsettling and intriguing. It was as though the spirits of the Black Hope Cemetery were raising their voices in a desperate cry for recognition, a cry for the respect that they were denied in both life and death, a cry for peace, for the tranquility that they were robbed of. It was as if the spirits of the Black Hope Cemetery were crying out for recognition, for respect, for peace. These occurrences weren't isolated to the Haney residents. The entirety of the quiet Newport community was suddenly ensnared in the shadowy clutches of a haunting that seemed to pervade the very air they breathed. At first it was just strange happenings, unexplainable incidents that tickled the spine and raised the goosebumps. But soon these incidents escalated, becoming more frequent, more eerie. Days turned into nights filled with an unnerving sense of fear, of something unnatural lurking beyond the corner of their vision. Whispers started to echo throughout the community, suspicions began to rise, and soon enough the entire town was abuzz with hushed conversations. The rumors spread like wildfire, igniting a spark of curiosity and bone-chilling fear in the hearts of the residents. The once peaceful community was now held in the icy grip of a haunting that refused to release its cold, relentless grip. As each day passed, the mystery deepened, compelling the residents to dig deeper into the history of their community. It was then that they stumbled upon a forgotten piece of their past. The Black Hope Cemetery, a place that time had from memory, came to light. The residents had been unknowingly living atop a graveyard, the final resting place for souls who had not found their eternal rest. This revelation sent a shockwave through the community, inducing a wave of guilt and remorse. With newfound determination, efforts were made to move the graves, restore peace to both the living and the dead. The townsfolk, fueled by a desire to right their wrongs, were hopeful, but these attempts were thwarted by unidentified bodies, the forgotten souls of Black Hope Cemetery. They were nameless, the gravestones bearing no inscriptions, the identities of the bodies buried beneath lost to time. These unknown spirits were the perpetuators of the haunting, the ones who sought justice for their disturbing fate. And so the haunting continued. The chilling whispers of the wind and the eerie silence of the night, a constant reminder of the consequences of disturbing sacred grounds. It was a haunting lesson etched in their minds, a warning to respect the sanctity of the final resting place of the dead. The tale of the Black Hope Cemetery abides as a poignant message. It's a narrative that compels us to reflect upon our historical roots, to honor those ancestors who carved the path we now tread on, and to acknowledge the sanctity of their eternal repose. So, with an anxious breath and a quickened heartbeat, I extend an invitation to you to dive further into the enigma of the Black Hope Cemetery. Begin your journey by attempting to unearth its buried history. Trek through the records, the whispers of yesteryears, and the tales passed down through generations. Discover the stories that lie beneath the surface waiting to be heard once more. What you find might astonish you, might move you, and might even terrify you. But remember, as you embark on this exploration, it's not just about the thrill of discovery. The Black Hope Cemetery isn't merely a landmark or a collection of graves. It is a testament to the lives that once breathed, laughed, cried, and dreamed. Remember these souls, for they are as much a part of this narrative as the soil and the stones. Try to imagine they led, the stories they told, and the dreams they had. With every step you take, every stone you uncover, every name you read, you come closer to understanding the cemetery's true essence. You start to see it not just as a place of death, but as a place of life, of stories that continue to resonate, of dreams that refuse to die, and of a past that lives within each of us. And perhaps, just perhaps, you may find yourself a touch more entwined with historical roots, a tad more conscious of the ethereal entities that exist amongst us, and a bit more reverential of the holy territories we walk on. For in these grounds, in these echoes of time, we find not just the past, but also our connection to it. And as we delve deeper, we realize that the spiritual and the physical are not two separate realms, but rather intertwined parts of the same entity. Because, as the story of the Black Hope Cemetery reminds us, the past is never truly buried.